WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Tommy Lopez. Alabama has a new attorney general. It's the latest move in the chain reaction that started with Jeff Sessions' confirmation. Governor Robert Bentley announced this afternoon that Stephen Marshall is going to take the job. He's been the district attorney in the state, one of them for a while. Bentley has said he has strong conservative values. He announced Thursday that the former Attorney General, Luther Strange, is going to fill that empty U.S. Senate seat. That was open after Jeff Sessions became the U.S. Attorney General. The Mississippi Supreme Court struck down a regulation that was designed to help people fleeing abusive situations. This rule allowing victims of domestic violence to have their utility deposits waived within the first 60 days of them getting a new home. It was approved by the Public Service Commission in 2014. So the High Court struck this down. It's the waiver in they struck it down. It was a decision that was a 5-3 decision. That ruling mainly affects rural water associations under the Commission's authority. The waivers are still in effect for gas providers. Northern District Public Service Commissioner Brandon Presley, who helped craft the rule, had strong words for the justices.
I think it's shameful, quite frankly, that victims of domestic violence have lost this layer of protection. We put this in place to do one thing, and that is make it easier for a victim to get out of a bad situation. And so, it's kind of hard to believe that a court would strike that down.
Presley says the PSC plans to file for rehearing on this issue. If you're not a fan of the possibility of being patted down before a flight at the airport, your concerns could soon be gone. Advanced imaging technology, it's called. The equipment is now installed at Golden Triangle Regional Airport in Lowndes County. This same equipment is used at major airports like Atlanta and New York. It can also pinpoint where something is on a passenger. GTR Executive Director Mike Hainsey says that AIT is going to enhance the customer screening. It's going to make that airport security process smoother.
The technology is extremely safe, it's extremely accurate, and it makes it much more convenient for our traveling and for the people traveling out of the Golden Triangle. It also helps people that have had surgeries and things like that in the past have had to be patted down and go through enhanced screening. Now this will pick it up and they can just move right on through.
Today is the first time passengers used that screening technology at GTR. Keith Gibson, the warm-up is well underway.
It is mild out there, Tommy, and we also had a lunar eclipse of some sort show up earlier this evening. See how that moon right there is a little bit darker on the top left? That was the lunar eclipse about 6:45 this evening. Right now we're looking at temperatures in the 50s and low 60s. Very mild for this time of night. We do have some low clouds coming on in this blotch of black. These are low clouds coming back in with some low-level moisture. So we've had a mostly clear day, mostly clear evening, but the clouds will fill back in tonight. It's still going to be warm tomorrow, Tommy. Low to mid-70s with a few passing showers. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Yeah, very warm. Thank you, Keith. Plenty of areas in Mississippi are at risk of heavy flooding after rains. Flood zones are going to attempt to figure out who's in the most danger. If the boundaries change, it can affect people's insurance. Our Selena Schaefer has more on that.
Residents in both Monroe and Itawamba County are going to be facing some zoning changes this upcoming year as to whether or not their homes fall in flood zones or not.
Monroe County EMA Director Bunky Goza says the new mapping took 9 years to complete. FEMA, Monroe County, and Amory worked together to create the new maps that were approved by the federal agency, meaning homes once listed in the flood zones may or may not be included in the new maps.
A chance for the public to view their property lines, see if they're going to be in the flood zone or not going to flood zone, or if they are in the flood zone, what methods they can use to improve their property to give them ease on their insurances.
An insurance rate that could go up or down depending on where your property falls.
One thing we want to emphasize is that you never know when a flood will happen. We have a 100-year flood or 500-year flood, and we had flash flooding back in Christmas of last year. It was totally unexpected, and so we experienced the flooding then, so it can happen anytime. So The purpose of this map is to see where the flood zones rise and people are necessary precautions and purchase the insurance.
Goza says precautions like building homes on stilts or having a flood wall are key for residents living in low-lying areas.
Monroe County residents can come to the Monroe County Administrative Building on February 16th from any time between 4 to 7 to get specific details on whether or not their homes fall in these flood zones. For now, in Aberdeen, Selena Schaefer, WCBI News.
Good to know. Thank you, Selena. A Starkville-based company is hoping to make its mark in the world of sports apparel. It's a new business. Our Ali Martin has more on the businessman and his plans.
Kenneth Elliott spends a lot of time traveling across North Mississippi showing off his line of sportswear. Elliott created KE Sweats after he couldn't find a shirt to keep cool while working out.
Started slowly from the pattern, and then I went into the material, did research on the material.
Elliott came up with a material called Wickaway that traps perspiration and cools the body. Now he visits sporting goods stores, schools, and other potential customers.
The more you sweat, the cooler it keeps you. It draws the sweat from your body to the outside of the shirt.
The Wickaway or mesh shirts have zippers on the sides and sleeves, which can be multifunctional.
Police officers, golf. I have a couple friends that play golf in them, and they said keep them cool playing golf.
The Starkville man is a trainer by trade, but has been chasing his dream and vision for about 3 years. He believes KE Sweats is on the verge of a big break. Elliott knows it will take a lot of work, but he's willing to put in the sweat equity. In Tupelo, I'm Ali Martin, WCBI News.
Ali, thank you. And a patent is pending there on Elliott's clothing line.
Right now we have a bright full moon shining overhead. That's a live look with our Alpha Insurance camera in downtown Columbus. Your weekend forecast is next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We have the bright full snow moon in effect out there this evening. That's a view earlier from Jake. Now, we have no snow on the ground. It is still technically winter, but it feels more like spring out there. There's another detailed view of that full moon rising earlier this evening, and just a subtle darkening right there, the last part of that lunar eclipse we had earlier. So skies have been mostly clear today. We'll fill in the clouds tonight. We'll wake up to 62 in Columbus, overcast, 68 by noon, low 70s in the afternoon. We will tend to see some breaks out there. Could be some passing showers, but also a few breaks later on. And that should get us back into the low to mid 70s tomorrow. Here's our weekend planner. A chance for a few spotty showers tomorrow. A better opportunity for some rain with an actual cold front on Sunday. Now, temperatures right now as of 10 o'clock running well above where we should be for this time of night, this time of year. 54 in Tupelo, 62 in Columbus, 65 in Jackson. And we take this heat all the way back west across the high plains. It is extremely warm down here across the southeastern part of this country. Winds continue from the south. They will gradually increase a little bit tonight and continue about 10 to 20 tomorrow. There's also some low-level moisture. This is the dew point value, the colored areas here, low-level moisture that will give rise to some low clouds. And look at this. This is low clouds expanding. This area of black right here, these low clouds, those persistent low clouds, this will be expanding northeastward later tonight. So we've been watching the moon tonight, but we will see those low clouds fill back in. And there's also been some showers down here, and that's a sign of where we may be tomorrow morning with some of these low clouds filling back in. So don't be surprised if you see a shower or two in your area tomorrow, maybe a sprinkle. And then just extensive cloud cover overall. Those clouds will fill back in during our Saturday night and Sunday morning. Same story, we'll have a few showers around Sunday, but a better opportunity with this actual cold front coming through on Sunday afternoon that will eventually allow some cooler and drier air for Monday. Now, temperatures on Saturday here, we're looking at some low 70s to mid 70s across our region. Tommy, extremely warm for this time of year. Here's our 70 forecast. Well, actually, here's a Twin State view. You can see how warm it's going to be. Jackson may be up to 80 degrees tomorrow.
Wow.
It is crazy stuff here. I know. We've just bypassed winter, gone right into spring.
Yeah.
We have spring blooms already going. But it will be a little bit cooler next week. We fall back into the 50s.
Until then, we can barbecue. We can go lie out by a pool.
We can.
Yeah. All right. Keith, thank you very much. We want to show you some rodeo video tonight. Yeah, record-setting crowd. This is in Starkville, and it was not for a Mississippi State game. The annual Rotary Classic Rodeo at the Mississippi Horse Park. The Starkville Rotary Club has hosted the event for the past 13 years. Organizers tonight tell us this is their largest opening night crowd. Congratulations to them. In case you missed it tonight, they're doing it again tomorrow. Starts at 7 o'clock there in Starkville. Well, you can text, you can go on Facebook, Twitter, you can say I love you in a lot of ways. But for Valentine's Day, I don't think emojis are going to cut it. That story's next.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Tommy Lopez.
We can take out our phones and text someone, tell them how we feel. There are a lot of ways to tell people how we feel. And with Valentine's Day coming up, there can be more of an emphasis on doing it the right way, on adding that personal touch, maybe even using some pen and paper. Victoria Bailey has the story.
Candy, flowers, and of course stuffed animals. All the things needed to make the perfect Valentine's Day, but Hallmark shop owner Susan Durham says there's still a little room for some words.
Well, it has the person's signature, their handwritten signature, and I think there's always something special. And a lot of times people can put their, express their feelings better when they write something.
Susan Forrester is shopping for her family, and she says she always goes with cards because it shows your loved ones you went the extra mile.
I have 3 grown children and 2 grandchildren, and 2 of them live out of town, and so if I didn't have the cards, it's just a special way to say I'm thinking of you, I love you, and just to have a little bit of humor and a smile on their face.
And Durham says cards not only make your Valentine feel special, but it makes your wallet happy as well.
I think that's a great thing about cards. They're not terribly expensive, and it's a great way to make someone smile and show them that you care.
Now, many feel Valentine's is just a holiday for couples, but Durham says that doesn't have to be the case.
Well, because Valentine's is always about love and about telling people that they're special to you. And not only for husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, it's for friends. Like women will send each other a Valentine to, let them know we care about them, and, to grandmothers, just commemorating those holidays and letting those people know they're super special.
Forrester says she plans to stick with the physical cards because they're the best way to express yourself.
And the romantic card is for my husband. So we've been married a long time, so I always want to put into words through the cards what he means to me.
Of course. Always. Victoria, thank you. If you'd like a little high-tech help, Hallmark is sponsoring our Valentine's photo contest. Those details are on our website, WCBI.com. I want to read a quote from Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world. It's the theme for the 54th annual Tupelo Junior Auxiliary Charity Ball. That's what you're seeing here. Also applies to the dedicated service of this year's Outstanding Citizens of Tupelo, Dr. Joseph Bailey and his wife Polly. Both have been active in civic groups. They are best known for their founding the Tree of Life Clinic. That provides medical care to those without insurance or the ability to pay for it.
We were very surprised, and I really am kind of at a loss for words, which is unusual, but we just were very humbled and very surprised, and Tupelo has so many people in the town who are very deserving, so we feel very fortunate.
The money they're making at that ball funds JA's Clothes Closet, scholarships, and other programs. High school hoop season is coming down to the wire. Highlight tapes are being made on Friday night. That's right, full moon and some high-flying hoops action. West Lowndes, East Webster, Tremont, all coming up next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel.
The high school basketball regular season is coming to a close. District tournaments tip off next week, and teams are trying to get some momentum heading into the playoffs. Senior night in West Lowndes honoring Marcus Farmer and the guys, going up against Robert Woodard and the Columbus Falcons. This one was a fantastic first quarter. Here we'll start it off after a Woodard three. Woodard's going to overextend. West Lowndes makes him pay. Marcus Farmer with the nice lay-in for two. Great pass from C.J. Smith there. But then Woodard's going to make Farmer pay for the exact same mistake. Big fella's going to go up for the two-hand jam and the flush. That wouldn't be the last time we would see Robert in this one. Falcons, they're in transition. Denaje Harris, strong finish plus the harm. Columbus would be up by 4 after the made free throws. Here in transition, not happening this one. Look at this block by Marcus Farmer. Put a stamp on this one. It needs a mailing address at this point. Boy, that nice block by Marcus. But here comes that man, Robert Woodard, here on the missed layup. Here comes Woodard, flusher with the two-hand finish, cleans up the mess. Robert and the Falcons, they coast to the W, winning 85-50. It'd be the girls' turn. Lady Falcons taking on the Lady Panthers over in West Lowndes for senior night. Here early on, Columbus up. It's going to get to the good ball movement, finds Wilson in the corner for the triple. Columbus up 9, having a good old time, enjoying a Friday night. More from the Lady Falcons in transition. Great outlet from Green, finds Wilson here for the easy 2. Falcons rolling at this point, but check this out. Clock winding down in the fourth. Last chance for West Lowndes. Loose ball eventually ends up in Takara Evans' hands. Buzzer beater. Drains the triple as the game comes to an end. Lady Panthers fight hard. Way too much Columbus. Lady Falcons win 54-34. Let's go over to East Webster facing Eupora in boys action. Early on for East Webster, Charlie Brand. He's going to drains a triple here. He gets the ball. Wolverines, they lead 3-0 early on. Then Eupora would answer, down by 4. Kaylin Coffey, he's going to get the ball. Nice pull-up jumper there. That one's sweet. Cuts the lead. Cuts that East Webster lead to 2. Later on for the Wolverines, John Carpenter, he's going to get the ball, go baseline. Big tough move by the big fella. He scores, but the Eagles, they answer right away. Or I should say, here we go, Eagles. K.M. Bell, he gets the ball, drains the corner jumper. East Webster boys cruise tonight. 67-36 is the final. Now to the girls' action. Eupora and East Webster, they'll just do a round 2. Fourth quarter, Eupora up 4. Haley McCrory's going to find Jabria Morton inside. Nice dish. That's a nice pass right there over the outstretched arm of the defender. Extends the lead to 43-37. East Webster's turn. Adriana Bell steals the ball. She's going to get the finish, cuts the lead back to 4. But more from the Lady Wolverines. Bell, she's going to drive, score inside. Nice finish there. Cuts the lead to 3. But later on for Eupora, Haley Farley, she's going to find Morton one more time for the finish. Eupora hangs on to win 57-54 is your final. Packed house in Tremont as the Eagles hosted Itawamba County rival Manatee Mustangs. It was all Eagles early on in this one. Here's Zach Sheffield. He's going to get one inside for the finish. Eagles up 3-0. Dominant early on, Jack Turner. He's going to find Sheffield one more time for the finish. And then here's another one. Hitting another one from the outside. Eagles rolling there up 8-2. Manatee wouldn't score a field goal in the first quarter. They finally get one. It's going to be a 3-point here from Carson Burns. But the Eagles, they come away with the close win, defeat Manatee 67-60. We'll head over to the girls' side. Lady Eagles taking on the Lady Mustangs. Home team up by 10 after 3 quarters. Early fourth, McKinley Montgomery. She's going to drain the triple. Cuts the lead to 7, but back come the Lady Eagles. Haley Robinson for 3. She's going to drain one of her own. Lady Mustangs drew within 7. But Tremont on the fast break, it's going to be Taylor Lentz here for the finish. 51-42. It'd be a happy home crowd as the finish. Tremont goes on to win 57-48. And here's a look at Mississippi State. Kicked off the softball season. They got W's today over Georgia State and Stephen F. Austin. We'll have a highlight and recap of this coming up on our website, WCBI.com. And that'll do it for your sports. We'll have the last of your forecast coming up next. A new season begins at News Park today. Mississippi State softball hosting their Bulldog kickoff weekend. Head coach Vance Studeman fired up as their Bulldogs hosted Georgia State. Here, top 1, Alexis Silkwood in a bit of trouble, but makes 2 people whiff. Gets out of a jam. Here, 2 big strikeouts, gets out of the inning. Bottom half, MSU's leadoff hitter Katie Ann Bailey drills one to deep center. She walks in with a stand-in double, but They leave her stranded. But no matter, we go to the bottom second. Still scoreless here. Hey, showing off the Superman. But here we go, bottom half. Here we go, bottom two, still scoreless. Carmen Carter rips one back up the box. That would advance Olivia Golden the third. Runners in scoring position. Emily Heimberger comes up clutch. Sends one past the infield, playing in, scoring Golden and Carter. Mississippi State goes up 2-0 after 2. Goes on to beat Georgia State 4-0. The Bulldogs also shut out Stephen F. Austin 2-0 to start the year 2-0.